Hello everybody, good evening. Hope all of you are fine. We are at final stage now. So the day has come. Tomorrow only our final exam. Hope your final preparation is completed. Now let us see quickly what all important topics we have, where we feel very easy, where we feel difficult, how to solve that type of questions. Now here, first chapter we have a topic called as real numbers. In that, first important topic is what? Prime factorization of a number, expressing given number as product of its prime factors, which is nothing but fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So this is what every composite number can be expressed as product of its prime factors. Based on this, we have some problems related to express given number as product of prime factors, first topic. And then second topic, we need to know how to find LCM of two numbers, HCF of two numbers. For that, what is LCM or HCF of two numbers? When you find out HCF of two numbers, we have to take only common factors and smallest power, product of common factors and their smallest power. Hope you remember. First we have to factorize two numbers. After you are factorizing two numbers, you have to select only common factors and their smallest powers. When we find out LCM, what we have to take? Each prime factor, means all the different prime factors in that, and the highest power of them, then we get LCM and HCF in this way. Once you know how to find LCM and HCF, some problems related to LCM and HCF, like application oriented. We have, in some problems we need to find out HCF, in some problems we need to find out LCM. You need to know in which case what to find. That application oriented also very important for 3 marks. I have sent before some worksheets. In that worksheets we have many problems related to applications of LCM and HCF. So in the first chapter you will be having either 2 marks or 3 marks question based on LCM and HCF, product of their expressing given number as product of its prime factors, and verifying HCF into LCM is equal to product of numbers. On this you may have an objective type question, 1 mark question, or you may have 2 marks questions. So hope you all are okay, perfect in this. If you do not know any one of these, again now still time is there, you can go through about LCM, HCF and this verification. And in this first chapter, another very important topic is to prove root 3, root 5, root 7. Hope you remember 2 plus 3 plus 2 root 5. How to prove these irrational numbers, very important topic. Hope you all are perfect in this topic. Chapter 1, this is also 3 marks, either 2 marks or 3 marks questions related. That is also 2 marks or 3 marks questions related. Real numbers topic is very simple. You will be having very limited topics. One is prime factorization of a number, another is proofs of irrational numbers. In these two, on first topic we have LCM and HCF and their applications, and on the second topic we have proofs of irrational numbers. In the first topic there are some other numbers also. You need to prove how these are composite numbers, how these numbers are composite numbers. Check whether 6 to the power of n, 5 to the power, 15 to the power of n end with the digit 0 or not. That is problems related to last digit of the problem. These topics, if you are perfect in chapter 1, that is enough. Hope you have went through all these different topics in the chapter 1. In the chapter 2, these all are what basics about the polynomials. In 9th class you have general form of quadratic polynomial, general form of linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, cubic polynomial, and how to find out the relation, how to find the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, what are the relations. Very especially alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by. After you are finding zeros, how to verify sum of zeros. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a and alpha into beta is c by a. Here we use factorization method to find the zeros. factorization method. Hope you know how to find the polynomial zeros of the polynomial by factorization method, and we have to verify this alpha plus beta is equal to minus a by a, alpha into beta is equal to c by a. Similarly, sometimes they may give you questions related to cubic polynomial also to verify relation. We will be having three relations if it is cubic polynomial: sum of zeros, product of zeros, sum of product of zeros. Minus b by a, product of zeros is minus d by a, and sum of product of zeros is c by a. So this is what one very important topic: finding zeros and verifying the relation between zeros and coefficients. Not only that, sometimes they may ask you find the value of alpha plus beta, or alpha into beta, or one zero is reciprocal of other zero, find the value of k, or some of the zeros will be given, they may ask you to find the value of k. So all the problems related to alpha plus beta and alpha into beta, you have to be perfect. Not only like this, find 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, or alpha square plus beta square. So all these kind of problems will come for 2 marks or 3 marks also sometimes. And this is for cubic polynomial verification. So first topic is about finding relation, finding zeros and verification of zeros. And the second topic is to find out the polynomial when zeros are given. When you wanted to find out the polynomial when zeros are given, this is formula: x square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha into beta. Here you have to be very careful whether in the question it is given alpha plus beta, alpha into beta, or only alpha comma beta. If they mention only zeros, first you have to find alpha plus beta and alpha into beta, then substitute. If sum of zeros and product of zeros are given, then directly you have to substitute these values in the polynomial. Other than this, in this some identities also you have to know. What are the identities to find out alpha square plus beta square, or questions related to alpha cube plus beta cube? When this type of question comes, you have to know this, how to find out alpha square plus beta square, alpha cube plus beta cube, alpha to the power 4 plus beta to the power of 4. Some algebraic identities also you have to know. And this is one more very important: how to find out the zeros of the polynomial by using graph. Wherever it intersects x-axis, at how many places it intersects x-axis, those many zeros will be there to the polynomial. And depends on the shape of the graph, we have to decide which type of polynomial it is. If it is parabola, quadratic, and in quadratic also, if it is opening upwards, a greater than 0, it is opening downwards, a less than 0. So like this, all important points should be there in the mind. Okay, so quickly, graph related, sum of zeros, product of zeros related. If sum of zeros and product of zeros is given, how to find the quadratic polynomial? If these points are there in the mind, you can answer all the questions related to polynomials. So what all we discussed: how to find zeros and how to verify, then how to find out alpha plus beta and alpha into beta, all the questions related to alpha plus beta, alpha into beta, 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, or alpha square plus beta square, or if zeros are given, how to find a polynomial. So these kind of questions, if you are perfect, polynomials will be simple only. Now coming to quadratic equations, pair of linear equations in two variables. Pair of linear equations in two variables, you will be having two equations. One is like this, it will be given a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. Next equation, a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. We have to take. Then first condition, when they are intersecting, a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. This is very important topic. Comparing coefficients, a1 by a2, b1 by b2, c1 by c2, depends on that which type of lines the two equations represents. Do they intersect each other, or are they parallel, or are they coincident lines? At the same time, if they intersect, how many common solutions? If they are parallel, how many common solutions? If they are coincident, how many common solutions? Depends on number of solutions, which type of system it is: consistent system, consistent independent, inconsistent, and the last one is consistent dependent. So based on the condition what you are getting, you have to decide which type of lines they are. Sometimes they give you some k or p and they mention which type of lines they are, then you have to find out that k or p value. You have to know it. And here one more important information you have to know: the equation of y-axis is x is equal to 0, means y-axis equation is x is equal to 0, and x-axis equation is y is equal to 0. X-axis equation is y is equal to 0, y-axis equation is x is equal to 0, and equation of any line parallel to x-axis is x is equal to some a or constant. Equation of any line parallel to x-axis is y is equal to some constant. So these 2 points. So if somewhere it is given x is equal to a, y is equal to b, they are intersecting lines. You have to know they are intersecting lines and they intersect at a comma b. Somewhere it is given y is equal to a, y is equal to b, they are parallel lines. They do not have any common solution. Here there will be one common solution. So you should have idea about it, which type of lines they represent. Then after that, once you know how to decide they are parallel or intersecting or coincident, that is first topic. And the second topic is graphical representation. Graphical representation, here one important information related to graph, like how you tied map in the social, like that only. Here if they give graph separately, you draw the graph and try at the end of all your solution, not at the end of your answer booklet. Okay, graph related, mention the scale. You know how to find out the graph. You have to find out x values and y values. Then you have to locate in the graph, join them, see where they are intersecting, what is the common solution. Graphical method, and another one elimination method. One more is substitution method. Try to be hope everybody know these 3 methods, very important. And here you should know how to frame equation. In this equation related, what you have: age related, especially 2-digit number related, speed, distance, time related. Hope you practiced all this. For a 5 marks, sometimes they may give for 5 marks or sometimes for 3 marks also. So word problems, and especially this type, I told you many times, here x coefficient is equal to here y coefficient, here y coefficient is equal to here x coefficient. When you have like this, what we have to do: add the 2 equations one time, we get one simple equation, and then subtract the 2 equations, we get another equation, then simplify both, then we get easily. And all these word problems related, before only we discussed. Age related, how to frame the equation. 2-digit number related, how to frame the equation. So here framing equation, you have to be very careful while you are framing equation. If you once you frame the equation, then remaining part of the solution, finding solution will be easy. Any of the methods, either elimination method or substitution method, you can use to find out x and y, but you be careful while you are framing equation in pair of linear equations and quadratic equations especially. So these are the main topics in pair of linear equation: graphical method, elimination method, substitution method, and this is very, very important. A1 by A2, B1 by B2, C1 by C2. That's it. You can attempt all the questions related to pair of linear equations very easily. Quadratic equations also, again what? Here almost many topics will be common in quadratic polynomials and quadratic equations, but here newly what we discuss: factorization method. Before only we have how to find out the zeros. Same method we will be having here also. And another method here, very important topic, is what? Discriminant. Is b square minus 4ac. Based on this we decide what kind of zeros it will be having. Quadratic equation, what kind of roots it is having. If it is b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, roots are real, distinct, real and distinct roots. B square minus 4ac is equal to 0, we say that roots are real and equal, or coincident roots. Coincident means what? They both are same, both are real and equal. If they mention real and equal or coincident, you have to know b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. If they do not have real roots, you have to use b square minus 4ac less than 0. This topic, nature of the roots, discriminant related, is very, very important in quadratic equations. And the next topic in quadratic equations, quadratic formula. They did not mention here, but quadratic formula, hope you remember, x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. This is one important. And after that, word problems here also for 5 marks. Word problems, and one more, some questions will be there like this: 1 by x minus 2 plus some example I am telling you is equal to some 1 by 5 or some other information will be given. You have to find out the values of x. For 5 marks or 3 marks from quadratic equation, one question is being given every time. Here boat related, speed, distance, time, train or water tap. So all these hope you practiced before. How I said to take T1 what it is, T2 what it is. If sum of times is given or difference of times it is given, you have to see and then frame the equation. And water tap or work related, we will take x hours of time, it will take x hours of time, then work done by it is 1 by x. Next again plus 1 by x minus 10 is equal to 1 by total number of hours, how much it takes. So based on this we get the quadratic equation. Just have idea if it is work and time related. If it is work and time related, we take total time, how much it takes, and what is the work done by it in 1 unit of time. Then this is what time related, distance time related. What is the time taken by it in the first case? What is the time taken by it in the second case? If it is total time given, how do we take the equation? Total time or difference of time. Not only this, like pair of linear equations in two variables, here also you will be having 2-digit number related, age related, a fraction related, okay, numbers related, like sum of numbers, a number and a reciprocal. So many different type of questions are there. Word problems, you should know how to frame the equation. You should be careful while you are framing quadratic equation. Once you frame the quadratic equation, solving quadratic equation either by using quadratic formula or by using factorization method, you can solve it. Quadratic equations. Try to remember these formulas. Now next we have arithmetic progressions. I have seen many years in previous sample question papers, they have given case study question from arithmetic progressions. Here especially you should know in which case you have to find an, in which case we have to find Sn. This is what general form of arithmetic progression: a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d and so on. This is an, nth term related, very important, nth term related. If they ask you which term of the progression or number of terms, okay, in all these cases what you have to find? An, you have to, an formula we have to use. In that an formula you have to understand whether they are asking find n or an. An is the last term, n means number of terms. You should know whether they are asking number of terms or whether they are asking last term. And this is what, how to find the term from end of the progression. How to find a term from end of the progression. Either you can do like this or you write complete progression in the reverse order, then find out what is A, what is L and substitute in the formula. Most of the students, while they are solving their case study question, I observed they confused to select a correct formula while they are doing, like an or Sn. For Sn they did sometimes an. So you be careful whenever a question comes related to total number of observations, total number, then you should use Sn formula. Sn formula also we have two. This is one. Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and this is what? Sn is equal to n by 2 into a plus l. So be careful, understand the question, read it 2 times, 3 times, then get the clarity whether they are asking to find an or Sn, then use correct formula, appropriate formula. And these are some, you have to remember sum of n natural numbers to get quickly to solve some objective type problems. Sum of n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 by 2. If you want 100 natural numbers, 100 into 1 or 1 by 2. If you want 1000 natural numbers, 1000 into 1001 by 2. This is what sum of n natural numbers. This is what sum of n even natural numbers, 2, 4, 6, 2n, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, when you have like that. If you wanted to find sum of n even natural numbers, n into n plus 1, That means what? Suppose you want 3 even natural numbers, then your answer will be 3 into 4. Sum of 3 even natural numbers is 3 into 4, that is 12. If you add these 3, you will get sum 12. So this formula you have to remember. This is for sum of even natural numbers, n into n plus 1. This is what? Sum of n natural numbers, n into n plus 1 by 2. This is what? Sum of n odd natural numbers, n square. Like 1 plus 3 plus 5. 3 odd numbers you are adding, 9, 3 square. If you want 5 odd numbers, 5 square. This is what? Sum of n odd numbers. Remember these formulas also, they will be useful in finding some simple objective type questions quickly. So this is one more very important formula. An is equal to Sn minus of Sn minus 1. If you want A10, you know Sn, and A10 is equal to what? S10 minus S9. If you want A100 is equal to what? S100 minus S99. Hope you remember about this topic also. And other than this, sometimes they give you An is equal to some 5 plus 2n like this. And they ask you sometimes find the common difference, or find the 10th term, or find the difference of 5th term and 4th term, or 5th term and some second term, or they ask you to find sum of first 10 terms. So whenever it comes like this, you should know this is An, and if you substitute 1, you will get 7. If you substitute 10, you will get A10. If you substitute 3, you will get A3. So try to remember this type also. And one more very important, sometimes they will give you 2 or more terms, 2 terms. When they give 2 terms, you will get 2 linear equations in terms of A and D. You have to solve those 2 equations by elimination method or substitution method. We get A value and D value. After you are getting A value, D value, you can find out whatever they ask you to find. And one more important topic, they give you sum of 3 terms and product of 3 terms. Whenever it is given sum of 3 terms and product of 3 terms, instead of taking A plus D, A plus 2D, better you take A minus D, A plus D, and A minus 3D, this is 5. Whenever it is given 4 terms, if it is given 4 terms, A minus 3D, A minus D, A plus D, A plus 3D. If it is given 3 terms, A minus D, A plus D. So it will be very easy to find out, because if it is given sum of terms, minus D plus D will be cancelled, we get directly A value. Here also minus 3D plus 3D, minus D plus D will be cancelled, we get directly A value. So whenever it is given sum of the terms and product of the terms, better you take the terms like this, then you get easily A value and D value, and then whatever they ask you to find, you can find out. So I have seen 12th class sample 12th class final year exam paper also. It was completely like application oriented, not direct questions they did not give. But the questions, if once you understand what to be done, AN or SN, or what topic is involved, which topic we have to use, if you know, that connecting the topic to the concept, question is important. Once you know for that question correctly which formula I have to use, then it will be very simple, it will be easy. So tomorrow's exam, you should be very careful about it. That's what I am telling you, what we have to read that question again and again to know which topic you have to use there. Once you know which concept is to be used, then it will be easy. That is about arithmetic progression. Keep in mind how to answer case study application oriented questions from arithmetic progressions. Now next important topic, triangles. Most of the students, once they see the question paper, when they see triangles related or circles related or trigonometric identity problems related, they may get feared or tensed, that because they don't know these type of questions. So what you do, if it is very simple, you can attempt first, but if it is difficult, if you feel this is difficult, or if you do not know, better you attempt it last, so that your time will not be wasted. And whenever geometry related question comes, you attempt, if you do not know, you attempt it last, and compulsory draw the figure. And you remember there are only 2 topics in basic similar triangles, that is one basic proportionality theorem related, and other is similarity criterions related. So when you see the question, after you are drawing the figure, you will come to know whether that question is related to basic proportionality theorem, that is if it is related to one line is parallel to one side, then you can decide that is if it is there anywhere like that. If you feel one line is parallel to one side, or in that way if it is there, you can connect that topic to the basic proportionality theorem. That is basic proportionality theorem related you can know, and then draw the figure, then try to apply basic proportionality theorem related topic to it, or converse of basic proportionality theorem topic to it, then you will get, at last you will get the solution. And another topic we have similarity criterions also. When you draw the figure, you will come to know that question is related to basic proportionality theorem or that question is related to similarity criterions. So it is very important to understand what question it is. In triangles, circles especially, in these two questions, surface areas and volumes and applications of trigonometry. These four chapters, circles, triangles, surface areas and volumes and applications of trigonometry. In these four chapters, it is very important to draw the figure to understand the question properly. Once you understand the question, then you can do it very easily. So better first you draw the figure and then try to know which topic it is related to. Basic proportionality theorem, and I have seen in many papers I have seen proof of basic proportionality theorem. Prove that state and prove basic proportionality theorem, or simply they give the statement and they ask you to prove it. So better you try to know this proof, basic proportionality theorem and converse of basic proportionality theorem and its applications. Similarity criterions, we have three: side, 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 angle, 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 side, angle. So these three, angle, angle, angle also. So once you draw the figure, you can know based on which criteria they are similar. Already, if they are already similar, then how to take corresponding sides ratio same. Once you equate corresponding sides ratios, then you will know how to find out that unknown value which is given in the figure. Better you draw the figure and try to find. Definitely you will get solutions related to triangles also. It's not so difficult, but you do not start immediately if you do not know. So what I am telling you to attempt at last if you do not know questions related to it in the exam. Next one, coordinate geometry. Here this chapter is completely based on formulas. First topic, this is you know already in 9th class, how to identify abscissa. X coordinate is abscissa, y coordinate is ordinate, and this is important whenever question it comes on x-axis. On x-axis every point is in the form of x comma 0, on y-axis every point in the form of 0 comma y. This you have to remember. And next very important formula is distance. Half of the chapter we have based on distance formula, and remaining half of the chapter we have based on section formula. Distance formula you remember, this is what distance from origin, this is what distance of a point from x-axis. From x-axis to the point x comma y is modulus of y. From x-axis, from y-axis to the point x comma y is modulus of x. For example, what is the distance from x-axis to the point? Y value. Y value is -3. You should not say -3. Modulus of -3 means what? 3 units. You should not say -3 units if it is objective. You have to select there 3 units. Modulus of y from x-axis, modulus of x from y-axis. You have to remember this. And then here, based on distance formula, what kind of questions we have? We have to check whether the given 3 points are collinear or not. If it is 2 marks, you can use this concept distance formula, find out that 3 distances and equate any, add any 2 smaller distances. Add 2 smaller distances and then check whether it is equal to that longer distance or not. If the sum of 2 smaller distances is equal to longer distance, we can say that they are collinear. So collinear concept, we have to find out 3 distances and add smaller 2 distances and check whether it is equal to longer distance or not. Next important concept, we have section formula. Based on distance formula, we have many other questions also. Like distance will be given, you have to find out that unknown value x or y, or they say find out a point on x-axis which is equidistant. Find a point on x-axis which is equidistant from other two, a comma b. So like that also questions will come related to distance formula. We have down also again distance formula related, we will discuss. This is again another important topic, section formula. Here mn is given, but in our textbook we have written m1 x2 m2 x1. So this is another important, remember the formula and remember in which cases we use section formula. They ask you to find out point sometimes, they ask you to find out ratio sometimes. When point is given, you have to find out ratio. We will take k is to 1 and equate either x value or y value, we get the ratio. Sometimes in objective also they are asking find the ratio by x axis minus y1 by y2. Ratio by x axis is minus y1 by y2. Ratio by y axis is minus x1 by x2. If it is objective, you can use these formulas. But if it is subjective, the original process you follow. That is what we'll take ratio as k is to 1. Because if it is x axis 0 comma y, then we equate mx2 plus nx1. Okay, this is what, this is on y axis. 0 comma y, 0 comma y is on y axis, so we use my2 plus ny1 by m plus n, we will equate to 0. So from this we get the ratio. Hope you all remember how to find out ratio when point is given. If point is given, we can find out ratio. If ratio is given, we can also find out point. Midpoint formula is also very important. Whenever center and two ends of the diameter related question comes, we use midpoint. And parallelogram, they say that in a parallelogram we know diagonals bisect each other, so midpoints of two diagonals are equal. We will find out fourth vertex if they do not give. So midpoint formula you have to remember. And centroid formula x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. Points of trisection, whenever they ask you to find points of trisection, they do not mention ratio. One time 1 is to 2 we take, one time 2 is to 1 we take, and we use section formula and we find out the points of trisection. Next we have, this is what I said just now, they ask you to find fourth vertex of a parallelogram. If they give fourth vertex of a parallelogram, again what we have to use, diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. I said just now, if they ask you fourth vertex of a parallelogram or any in two vertices, if they did not give x comma y, somewhere if it is given x y, you have to remember in a parallelogram diagonals bisect each other. Diagonal of A and C, that is midpoint of AC is equal to midpoint of BD. This is also, they may ask you to prove quadrilateral to be rectangle, prove that. If you wanted to prove given vertices form a rectangle, hope you remember all opposite sides, AB is equal to CD, AD is equal to BC, even diagonals also you have to prove equal. If diagonals are equal, it is rectangle. If diagonals are not equal, it is parallelogram. Similarly, if you wanted to show square, AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA and AC is equal to BD, then it will be square. If AC is not equal to BD, it will be rhombus. Hope you remember how to prove these all. Similarly, equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, right angle triangle, isosceles right angle triangle. You have to know all these definitions, and according to the question, you have to know which distances you have to prove equal. These all are what? Distance related problems. And here also I have seen in many papers that what case study question from coordinate geometry. So you have to identify the points first. Vertices you have to identify, and then related to the question you should know whether you have to find out distance or midpoint or centroid or section formula, ratio they are asking, or what they are asking. You have to know by seeing that picture and information, then try to find out. See, it is not like case study question because if they are there at last, we have to attempt at last. No. If you feel that is very simple and easy, better you start with case study or whatever question that you feel simple, easy, you start with that question and that section. It's not like because objective are first, we have to solve objective. Not like that. Objective takes sometimes more time. If you know all the objective questions, if you feel all the objective questions very simple, you know, then better you solve all objective questions first. But if you do not know, then instead of going objective, they may take more time. Sometimes, you know, after you are doing calculation only, you have to select the correct option. There it may take more time. So better you can go section wise, whatever section you feel easy, or in that particular section also whatever question you feel easy. There is no importance to the order of the question. Any question, anywhere you can attempt. Keep in mind, it should be, your mind should be very pleasant. These many years what you did is okay, but now the 3 hours of time, how you are using is very important. How you are managing that time, how you are peacefully training your brain to answer the question is important. How you are managing your brain is important. So there, what it is a very, you should use very good strategy that first 15 minutes you use effectively to know the question, which questions you know very well. Read the questions properly and try to know the what topic to be used. And once you decide which question you have to attempt first, I told you just now, there is no order, importance to the order. Anywhere any question can be attempted. So according to that, I am telling you again, if case study 1 mark 2 marks, 1 mark 1 mark 2 marks, like that will be there. So if you feel that case study is easy, you can start with case study. If 5 marks are easy, you can start with 5 marks. If you feel 2 marks are easy, you can start with 2 marks. So like that, what all questions you know very well, you attempt all those questions, and then at last, one by one, that may be triangles related or identities, trigonometric identities related or circles related, wherever you feel some difficult, you can attempt at last. You will get that solution also after you are drawing the figure, and when you analyze about the question, whatever you feel you are not getting, it will come at last. Now coming to trigonometry, so here what, in this many people, most of the students, they get fear after when they see trigonometry related questions. Here we have only 3 topics. Keep this point in mind, very important. We have trigonometric ratios, and most of our students are very good in solving trigonometric ratios related, because all of them, all these ratios, they draw the figure, they identify the sides, opposite side, adjacent side, which side it is given, and we use Pythagoras theorem to find out third side, and whatever they ask, we will be able to find out. All the ratios related, you are very good, and values, this table related also you are very good. So table related, values related, and ratios related, from this only definitely here we'll get either 2 marks or 3 marks questions. 2 marks questions, 2 marks questions especially we'll get from ratios or values related. Identities, 3 marks questions will come from identities. If you know, it is good, identities. Still, if you have some, if you feel some difficult, then I told you, you can try it last, you will get it. This solution also definitely will get identities related also. Here what we have, very important, all these trigonometric identities you have to know, and reciprocal relations also you have to know. Next, values, again you try to revise, because from many days we are using this, everybody, hope everybody are having all these values in the mind, but in the exam I observed some people, you know, unknowingly or by mistake, instead of one value, because you are writing other value, you are getting. This is very important not only in trigonometry, it is also very important in applications of trigonometry. Ratios and trigonometric values, these both are very important in 2 chapters. So better try to know this, ratios, values, both. And then trigonometric identities, we have 3 identities: sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, 1 minus sin square theta, and 1 minus cos square theta is equal to sin square theta. These all you know already. One is in terms of secant square and tan square, one is in terms of sin square and cos square, one more is cosecant square and cot square. So here you cannot expect a question related to one kind. You know, every problem will be different in identities. In one problem, one method we follow according to the question, according to LHS, according to RHS, we do the simplification. If you know before, if you practiced well, no problem. If you did not practice also, what all you know related to the question, you attempt at last, you will get it. Now applications of trigonometry related. Here I told you just now, it is very important to draw the diagram. Applications of trigonometry, here I told you 2 marks and 3 marks we get from trigonometry, and either 5 marks or case study we get from applications of trigonometry. Many times in many papers I have seen 5 marks question, either 5 marks long answer type or case study question we get from applications of trigonometry. Here very important, if you know the diagram how to draw, then you will be able to know which ratio should be selected, you know the value, then you will get by doing cross multiplication. If it is two diagrams related, we get two conditions, two equations. If you solve two equations, you will get very easily. So here what, understanding that question, then drawing the figure. If you are perfect in these two, then remaining part of the solution is not very difficult. Hope you practiced well how to draw the diagram for this type of questions and how to solve. Most of the questions I have seen here tan related, and sometimes whenever it comes opposite and adjacent related, height and shadow, or opposite and adjacent related, we use tan. But whenever it comes slant height or slant length, then hypotenuse, either it may be cos or sine. Adjacent and hypotenuse type, we use cos. Opposite and hypotenuse comes, we use sine. Remember when, in which case, which ratio to be used, and remember those values, then it will be easy. Applications of trigonometry. Circles related, we already discussed. Here also very important, we have many theorems here, but here they have given basic concepts. Secant is a, what is a secant, what is a tangent? Tangent is a line intersect at one point, secant. If it intersect at 2 points, secant. If it intersects at 1 point, tangent. These all are basics, but what you have to remember in 10th class, we have theorems. All those theorems you have to remember. I am writing here what are the theorems we have. First one is tangent is perpendicular to radius. We have this one like this. Tangent is perpendicular to radius. How to prove? Lengths of tangents drawn from external to the external point of the circle. Lengths of tangents drawn from external point to the circle are equal. How to prove? Concentric circles. Chord of bigger circle touching at the smaller circle is bisected at point of contact. So these are some very basic and important theorem. And if you have two tangents like this, angle OQP, OQ like this would be given, PQR. Suppose if it is there, this angle is half of this. How to prove this angle is half of this? If it is x, x by 2. These proofs are also there. Now next, how to prove a quadrilateral circumscribing a circle is a, if it is quadrilateral circumscribing a circle, we have opposite sides, sum of opposite sides equal. Like this many other, if it is parallelogram circumscribing a circle is a rhombus, and if it is a quadrilateral circumscribing a circle, opposite angles obtain supplementary angles at the center. Like this many proofs we have seen. All those proofs you have to be perfect, and those formulas also I made one video. Angles related questions also we have. Sum of these two angles is 180 degrees, and angle at the any point on the circle is half of the angle at the center. Okay, now if they ask these two angles, again these two angles are supplementary. So like this many questions related. Not only this, we have like this also some questions. A circle will be given here. They ask you to a question related to tangents and perimeter of a triangle. I told you if you want length of the tangent is half of the perimeter. Perimeter of the triangle is 2 times the tangent. All these proofs and applications you have to know in the circle. Again I am telling you, if you draw the figure, then you will come to know what method you have to follow in circles. All those theorems you have to know, and their applications you have to know. Oh, can you hear me? Can you see me? Can't you hear me? No. can't see the board. This problem is there before also. 1 second, we will check it once. Hope now you can see it. Can you see now? Yes. Okay. Hope you know circles related also. Got idea? All theorems and some formulas I told you. Keep all those formulas in the mind. Now areas related to circles. Here these formulas are important, especially questions related to area of a sector. Circumference of a circle. Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Area of a circle is pi r square. And they ask you to find out area of shaded regions. To understand to find out area of a shaded region, you have to know which area should be subtracted from which area. And especially here, you have to know area of a sector. How to find theta by 360 into pi r square. One more, length of the arc. Theta by 360 into 2 pi r. Area of segment. How do we find area of a segment? Area of sector minus area of triangle. Area of sector minus area of triangle. Area of triangle we use half into base into height when angle is given 90 degrees. Area of segment we find again same, area of sector minus area of triangle. But when angle is given 60 degrees, I told you should use root 3 by 4 a square. So depends on angle here. If it is 90 degrees, half into base into height. If it is 60 degrees, root 3 by 4 a square. If it is any other angle, then I said to use r square sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. R square sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2 you have to use to find the area of a triangle. Then once you know area of a triangle, area of sector minus area of triangle, we get area of a segment. If you want major segment, area of circle minus area of minor segment. And remember, these are some basic formulas. L into r by 2. This is also area of sector. LR by 2, length of the arc, radius of the sector. and here angle in 1 minute 6 degrees. Okay, so it's like chapter related all important formulas concepts you keep in mind, and the remaining thing according to the question figure, what to be added, what to be subtracted, you have to implement. But these all are some basic important formulas and questions in that, especially sector and segment related questions in circles, areas related to circles. Now we have surface areas and volumes. Here compulsory, I have seen many times, either case study question or a long answer type question, 5 marks question. From surface areas and volumes, I have seen 5 marks question or a case study question. So here you already learned many times LSA, TSA, volume of all the solids. But here also, to understand better what you have to know, you draw the figure and then you will come to know whether you have to add the surfaces or subtract the surfaces. Similarly, whether you have to add the volumes or subtract the volumes. I am telling you again, particularly these chapters. What? Pair of linear equations, quadratic, geometry related, applications of trigonometry and surface areas and volumes. Compulsory, you draw the figure, then you will come to know what to do. Try to keep all these formulas in the mind. This is what diagonal of a cube, root 3 times the side. Diagonal of a cuboid is root of L square plus B square plus H square. So like this, if you draw the figure, you will come to know what length should be taken, what breadth should be taken, how can you find out volume or surface area. Like this, if they give question, cone and hemisphere, CSA of hemisphere, CSA of cone we will add. If it is volume, volume of cone plus volume of hemisphere. Here, what total surface area of a cuboid, total surface area of a cube plus CSA of hemisphere minus area of the circle. Minus area of the circle. This is like everywhere you draw the figure, then you will come to know what to do, whether you have to add or subtract, which part should be added, which part should be subtracted in every question in the same way. And you remember whether it is solid cylinder or empty cylinder, solid sphere or empty sphere. Empty sphere, if it is different, it will be, if it is solid sphere, it will be different. Suppose here this question is there, if it is a empty, then there will be no base here. If it is solid, there will be base. Keep that in mind. And tent related also, we do not take base, because tent will be there only side surfaces and top surfaces. So you read the question, draw the figure, understand it, then you will come to know which part should be added, which part should be subtracted. Then use the correct formula and simplify it. And this one I have seen many people, statistics, they know the formulas, but they do mistakes in simplification, or they do mistakes in selecting the value properly. So especially in median and mode, you should know how to find out the median class, modal class. How to find median class, you have to know. Median class, modal class, you have to know how to find. And then you should know how to use, how to find L, n by 2, F, CF, H. Substitute in the formula, simplify carefully, you will get it. Here also one 5 marks question I have seen many times. One 5 marks question or a case study question from statistics also. In this, these three concepts are very important methods: direct method, assumed mean method, step deviation method, mode, and then median. At last, every time one objective question or a 2 marks question based on empirical relation of mean, median, mode. These concepts, if you are being perfect, you can answer, you will get the marks easily. But here you be careful while doing your simplification calculation. You be careful while you are doing calculation, you have to be very careful. And that's what, if you use correct formula and simplification properly, you will get it. Probability here also, you should know the sample spaces. One very important topic is what P of E plus P of not E is equal to 1. So P of not E is 1 minus P of E, and probability always lies from 0 to, this is probability formula, number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes. This one important point you have to remember, probability of any event lies between 0 and 1. If it is sure event, probability 1. If it is impossible event, probability 0. And complementary event, sum of two probabilities of sum of two complementary events is always 1. And then these are some important points you have to remember. And after that, you have to know the sample spaces. If you toss one coin, h comma t, if you toss 4 coins, these are the sample spaces. Sample space, from that you have to choose the correct favorable outcome. If it is 3 coins, I told you how to write these combinations. 8 combinations will be there, 8 outcomes will be there. From 8 outcomes, you should choose correct one, how to do. And this is a formula to know number of possible outcomes, total number of possible outcomes when n coins are tossed. If n coins are tossed, 2 power n. And this is about dice. If it is 1 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it is 2 dice, you will be having 36 outcomes. Hope you all remember this. Here also you have to know about prime number, composite number, factor, square number, multiple, odd number, even number, all the different types of numbers you have to know. First point. And the second point, in 2 dice related, you should know how to select the favorable outcomes when they say doublet, or both are even numbers, or any one of the outcomes are even numbers, or some of the outcomes is 2, some of the outcomes is even number, some of the outcomes is composite number. They give you differently. You read the question carefully, write all the possible outcomes, and then select the favorable outcomes properly, and then use that formula, number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes, then you will get. If you toss 1 coin, 6 to the power of 1 dice, 6 to the power of 1. If you throw 2 dice, 6 to the power of 2. If you throw 3 dice, 6 to the power of 3. If you throw n dice, 6 to the power of n possible outcomes will be there. Here we have seen already different type of problems. I sent many worksheets, many different problems before. So you already solved, but while you are doing tomorrow, when you are solving in exam, just be careful and do it. Sometimes we feel it is very easy. In that excitement, right, when you are writing, you do mistakes. Don't do any mistakes in tomorrow's exam when you are doing it. And the last one, cards. Total number of cards will be having 52. They will be divided into 2 colors. I said red color. Total 52. In the 2 colors we have red and black. Red 26, black 26. And in that again we have 2 types: hearts, diamonds here, spades, clubs. And in each one we have king, queen, jack, ace. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here these 3, king, queen, jack, we call them face cards. So total 12 face cards will be there in that. 12 face cards will be there in that. Half will be in red color, half will be in black color. Remaining all, each type of cards will be there 4 times. So you read the question, what they are asking, according to that you have to select the favorable outcomes. So this is what complete brief review about all the topics which we have in our mathematics textbook. But here finally what I wanted to tell you, we have done many worksheets, many problems from last 1 year. But tomorrow, that 3 hours, how you answer the given question is important. At that time, how you are recollecting your answer is important. Don't get panic. You have done many things. You worked a lot. Tomorrow, till today, till whatever time you can prepare, you prepare, but not late, not very late. By 10 or 10:30 or maximum 11, you try to finish. Just recollecting. Don't go for any new topics, new different questions, new difficult questions. What all you have done before, just try to recollect all of them again one more time. At last, tomorrow morning also, if you have time, you can recollect, but not 1 hour before. 1 hour before, you try to keep your mind very peaceful. Don't get tensed or excited. And during exam also, do not carry any unwanted things. Okay, be ఫ్రీ. టెన్షన్ పడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఇన్ని రోజుల నుంచి నువ్వు చాలా కష్టపడ్డావు కాబట్టి రేపు అసలు టెన్షన్ పడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. వన్స్ యూ ఎంటర్ ఇన్ టు ద ఎగ్జామినేషన్ హాల్, what all you have to do before you have done. Once you enter into the examination hall, in exam, whatever you know, you try to write it correctly, pleasantly. I'm expecting many people, they have done a lot of work this year, expecting many hundreds, 80 on 80s. You are capable. I have seen your work. Expecting from many people that work, that marks. Hope you will keep me like before. Last time we have recorded one, what 4 people got, and many people got A1s, many people got very good marks. This year also I am expecting all of you. I am blessing you all. God bless you. Write well. Thank you.